Good morning, everybody. In the last class, in the previous class, we learned about the details about our state, that is Karnataka. We learned about the location as well as some relief features and the area, total area of our state, the population, the towns, districts, villages, like that. As we know that, so it is located at the southern part of our country. It is a part of peninsular India. Okay, and it is covered by neighboring states known as Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, like that. Okay, so we learned that the total area of Karnataka is 1,91,791 square kilometers. 1,91,791 square kilometers. That is the total area of our state. As we know that the population is more than 6 crore, 6 and a half actually. We can tell that in the easy manner. Okay. So the columns in the districts as well as the villages and all we came to know in the previous class. In this class, we are going to learn about the physiographic divisions of Karnataka. Okay, so it is based on the relief features. As we know that, as I told that earlier, it is a part of our peninsular India. It is located in the southern part. So our state is known for its varied relief features. Each part in the state will be having different type of features. That's why, so it is having an unique position in India. Okay, on the basis of that relief features, we can easily tell that Karnataka is a good state for everything, including that scenic beauty or tourism for other aspects. Okay, so it is in a good position when you will compare to other states. Okay, and here we can see different types of features. Here features means it may include hills, rivers or streams or plain lands, plateaus, estuaries like that, and coastal areas like that. On the basis of this one, we can divide the entire state into 3 parts. Okay, so that is known as physical features of our state. Okay, so in this lesson we are going to learn about these important physical features. We can also call that one as physical divisions. Okay, you should not forget it. So these are the physical divisions of Karnataka. Okay, and the first it has divided into 3 parts. The first is known as the coastal plain. Okay, the first one is known as the coastal plain. The second one is known as the Mallan region. The third one is known as the Maidan region. So in this way, so the entire state has divided. Okay, it has divided into 3 parts known as the coastal plain, the Mallan region, the Maidan region. So these are the divisions. Let us learn about this each division in this chapter. I will come to the first one, the coastal plain. You already knew that. So during that reorganization act, when it was passed during that 1947 at the time of independence, so on the basis of languages, the parts of the country so united. Okay, so they started to make it separate states. On the basis of that information, Karnataka also united because of the Kannada language. Okay, the people who were talking or speaking in Kannada, so they united themselves. They made that particular area as one state, that is known as Karnataka. Okay, it is on the basis of Linguistic Reorganization Act. Okay, so after that, Karnataka got some other features also. It was added for the ancient features, that is known as the coastal plain. Okay, so here we are having the rough sketch of the Karnataka. Here I have divided into 3 parts. Okay, the first part here you can see that this is the coastal plain. Okay, this area. Okay, it is a coastal plain. It is extends from New Mangaluru. So Mangaluru up to 320 kilometers from south part to the north. The width also same thing, 12 to 64 kilometers. So in some areas the width will be 12, in some areas it will be 64 kilometers. It is also varied. Okay, so difference we can see. Okay, here this area is called as the coastal plain. Okay, it is located between the Arabian Sea as well as the Malnad region. Okay, keep that in your mind. It lies between Arabian Sea. Already know that. To the west part we are having Arabian Sea, the water body. But okay, it lies between that Arabian Sea as well as the Malnad region. So the land which is located between Arabian Sea and Malnad region is called as coastal plain. Did you understand? So what do you mean by coastal plain? You should know the location also. You can mention this answer. It is located between Arabian Sea as well as the Malnad region. Here the coastal plain means we are having the coastal area also. I already told you. So that it will start from Mangalore to Karwar. Okay, like that. So it is extended. Okay, and here this area. So what I told that the coastal area, it is also known as Canara. Okay, it is also known as Canara. This coastal line is known as Canara up to here from Mangalore to Karwar. It is known as Canara. It is also known as Canara. Keep that in your mind. And if it is coastal area, some ideas will come directly to our mind. What is that? Immediately we will remember about ports. Here we are having many ports which are helpful for the trade, especially international trade. Okay, so in that we can easily mention some ports here. See the New Mangalore, very important port. It is known as Gateway of Karnataka. It is very important. New Mangalore port is also called as Gateway of Karnataka. And Bhatkal, other important ports. Okay, Bhatkala, Malpe, Karwar, Kumta, Belekere, Honavar. Okay, so among this one, this is very familiar for us. New Mangalore, Bhatkala, Malpe, a very famous beach also. Malpe, Karwar. So that seabird animals, that is the Karwar, Kumta, Belekere, and Honavar. These are the important seaports located on the coastal area, and they are very important for the trade, especially the international trade. So we will be having that import as well as the export activities through these seaports. Okay, and next we have to learn about the islands in these coastal areas. So when you visit the coastal line, so we can witness some highlands also. You can see some highlands. So very important highland in the St. Mary's near Malpe. So many of us have visited that Malpe beach. When we will go there, so we can visit one more island which is located very near to that is known as St. Mary's Island. It is a beautiful place. Okay. If someone want to visit Malpe beach, please don't miss to see that St. Mary's Island. It is very beautiful. Okay, and with them there are other islands known as Anja near Karwar. So Karwar is there no in that place. Very near more island is there, that is known as Anja. Okay, then Devagad and Kanchigutta. So these are the other islands. Devagad and Kanchigutta. So these are the other highlands which are located on the coastal areas. Okay, so these are the details about the coastal plain. So we came to know that the land, weight, as well as the important ports in the as well as islands. Because of this, so these places have become famous tourist places. Did you understand? So that's why I told you Karnataka assumed or got good position in that tourism as well as in other aspects of Indian economy. Okay. Then after we have to pass to occupation. As we know that the people who are living in coastal areas, they will be entirely depending on fishing, because the water bodies are very near. They will live very near to that. Okay, the main occupation is fishing here. You already know that. So they will go hundreds of kilometers inside the sea, okay, for that fishing activity and all. And after making that activity, so they will whatever they will do other activities like packing, something like that. They will transport to other parts of the country as well as the world. That is known as trading activity, especially in fishing here. And agriculture, one more very important occupation here, agriculture. As we know that agriculture is the main occupation in India. 75% of population is depending on agriculture. Here also the people are very busy in agriculture. The crops what they will grow here, we already knew that is areca nut, cashew nut. Okay, areca nut, cashew nut, the coconut. These are the important crops grown in this area. Okay, so with learning all these highlights as well as course, we should know about the agricultural life of the people, those who are living in coastal plains. Okay, and here the coastal plains means the places which are related for that or which are included in that. So those districts are Dakshina Kannada, Uttara Kannada and Udupi. Okay, these three districts form that coastal plain. Okay, so which are the Dakshina Kannada, Uttara Kannada and Udupi. These three places are considered as the coastal plain. The main occupation is fishing. In agriculture, the main crops are coconut, cashew nut, so as well as areca nut and some spices also. Okay, so that's just keep those points in your mind. When you will come to that post, that New Mangalore is very important. It is also considered as the gateway of Karnataka. Okay, New Mangalore Fort. Okay, next we have to pass for the Malnad region, the second physical division. Okay, the Malnad region. So here, okay, as I said that the second physical division is the Malnad region. It is the area which consists Western Ghats. Okay, so this area is also consists of Western Ghats. These Western Ghats are also called as Sahyadris. So Sahyadri mountain range, I think you have already heard about that. Sahyadri mountain range. Sahyadri nothing but Western Ghats. This is the area of Western Ghats. As we know that, so there are two Ghats here. At the western side direction, Western Ghats are there. To the east, Eastern Ghats are there. Okay, so to our state, the Western Ghats are very important. These Ghats are also called as Sahyadris. Okay, very important physical division of our state. So here, one more thing very important. So when I told that coastal plain, it is actually 200 meters above sea level. Okay, it is located 200 meters above sea level, and here it is 900 to 1500 meters above sea level. Okay, that much of height will be there. The Ghats are the mountain ranges, so that's why the height or altitude will be like that. So I already told you. So this is the area of Western Ghats. So when it is a Ghats or something like that, immediately you will remember that scenic beauty, isn't it? So the clouds or the wind as well as the drizzling rain, something and all will come to our mind. That is the main feature of those Ghats. Okay, here in these Ghats that there are areas which will get sufficient rainfall. The areas which will get very little rainfall. Two sides also will be there. Okay, as we told that. So that is known as wind side as well as the leeward side. Okay, the windward, the places which are located in the windward direction will get sufficient rainfall. It will get up to 200 centimeters. Okay, that heavy rainfall only. Okay, some places which are located to the leeward of that mountain, it will get only little rainfall in a year. Okay, so that is very important. Before learning this one, you should know that. Okay, windward side as well as the leeward. Okay, very important thing. And here the length is 650 kilometers. It will extend from the southern part to the north up to 650 kilometers. Okay, that is the length of the width, 50 to 76 kilometers. The width, okay, so 50 to 76 kilometers width will be there, and I already told you the height will be 900 to 1500 above the sea level. Okay, so as we know that if an area is having more height, so the top of that will be little bit cold only. What is the main reason for that? So for every meter, or for every meter, 1 degree Celsius temperature will be reduced. According to that, when we will go to much height, or top of that hills and all, we will feel very cool weather. Okay, that is the main reason for that. Okay, when we will go up, the temperature will decrease. That is known as law. Understood? Law of environment here. And here I already told you the places which are located to the windward side will get sufficient rainfall up to 200 centimeters per year. Very important. Okay, and here see, I have written here, so that Malnad region lies between the coastal plains as well as the Maidan region. Okay, it lies between the coastal plains and Maidan region. That middle part, what I have written here, so it is known as Malnad region. So here the places will get more rainfall. That's why they are very famous for tourism. Okay, then here there are some peaks. Okay, what we will call are small peaks. In that, the important peaks are Mullayanagiri. Okay, Mullayanagiri, Kudremur, and Kalhattigiri and Rudragiri. These are the important peaks which are located in Malnad region. Okay, and the highest peak in this region is Mullayanagiri. Okay, so it may be having a 1191 meters height from the sea level. That's why it is the highest peak. Mullayanagiri is the highest peak in Malnad region. Okay, don't forget that Mullayanagiri. Okay, and when we will come to that mountain passes, I already told you when we will visit these places, we can see some paths. So very near to that Western Ghats. Okay, these paths are called as passes. We will call them as the mountain passes. Okay, here we can see some mountain passes which will help us for travel. Okay, to reach from one place to another places, we have to depend on these paths only. Okay, those paths are called as mountain passes. In that, very important mountain passes. And as we already knew that, we also heard about that one. So Charmadi Ghat, we will call that one as the Ghats. Okay, so Charmadi Ghat. What is the importance of that Charmadi Ghat? It will connect Mangaluru and Chikmagaluru. Okay, it connects or it links Mangaluru and Chikmagaluru. Okay, if you want to go from Mangaluru to Chikmagaluru, we have to go through Charmadi. Very important ghat. Okay, and next we have Shiradi Ghat. It will link Hassan, Sakleshpur as well as Mangalore. Okay, when we want to go through Sakleshpur, we have to cross this mountain pass. That is known as Shiradi Ghat. Okay, so Charmadi Ghat, Shiradi Ghat, and Agumbe Ghat. One more is there. Agumbe Ghat. It will link Shivamogga and Udupi. Okay, Shivamogga and Udupi, and last ghat is known as Ulikal Ghat. It will connect Shivamogga and Kundapur. Okay, so Agumbe will connect Shivamogga and Udupi. Ulikal will connect Shivamogga as well as the Kundapur. So these are the important mountain passes which we can see in Malnad region. We already know the importance of these mountain passes. Okay, very important as well as while traveling, little bit danger also because the turnings, we should be aware about the turnings. Understood? So in some places the height will be more, and in some places when you will come little bit far away from that, so there will be a steep slopes. Okay, like that. So while traveling in those passes, so we should be careful. That is a very important thing we should keep in our mind. Okay. Next, here the Malnad region is, I already told you. So this is the area which will get sufficient rainfall. Okay, when we compare to other other regions. Okay, so that's why it is famous for evergreen forest. Okay, it is also known as evergreen forest. Here, when the rain is sufficient, so they will create some farms here. Okay, so which are main places for tourism. The farms. Here we can see that important farms, Jog farms. Okay, so that is also in Western Ghat. It has created by Sharavati has been known that. Okay, so highest falls in India, the Jog falls. Okay, very important place. With that, we are having other falls also in the Malnad region, that is known as Unchali Falls, Magod Falls, Gokak, and Shivanasamudra Abbe Falls. See here, Abbe Falls and Jog Falls. So both also very familiar to us. Okay, we may often hear about that. Okay, Jog Falls and Abbe Falls. With that, so Unchali, Magodu, Gokak, Shivanasamudra are also very important. So they are the sources of income also for the state as well as the country. Okay, so many people visit during that rainy season as well as not only rainy season but also in winter, summer, like that. Anyhow, it is a source of income for the state as well as country. Okay. Next, the places or the districts which will come under this region. So, Hassan, Kodagu, and Shivamogga. Hassan, Kodagu, and Shivamogga, three also considered. Okay. So, as a Malnad region. Okay. And when we will come to that, Kodagu. Okay, so it is the birthplace of river Kaveri, and here this Kodagu is also considered as Kashmir of Karnataka because of its scenic beauty, or whether it is considered as Kashmir of Karnataka, Kodagu. And one more thing, the people will grow more oranges here. Okay, that's why it is known as the land of oranges. See, Kodagu will be having two names, that is known as Kashmir of Karnataka and the land of oranges. Two names also belong to Kodagu. Okay, that one we should not forget. And Shivamogga. So here we already knew that. So Shivamogga, that Chikmagaluru, what we will call that Chikmagaluru place. So there the people will grow more coffee. Here wherever you see, we can see the coffee plantations. Understood? So this is considered as the land of coffee plantations. Which one? The Chikmagaluru. Okay, so the land of coffee. Okay, so why it is called so? Because of the coffee plantations which are grown in this region. Okay, so next, the next physical division is the Maidan region. Okay, so this Maidan region is 450 to 760 meters above sea level. Okay, so here in the name only we can understand Maidan region. So it is having only the flat land. Okay, so when we will visit that northern Karnataka, we will come to know that the vast plain land. Okay, that land is considered as the Maidan region. As I said that it is so 450 to 760 meters above sea level. Okay, so that's why we can see those relief features in this region. And here this region is formed by three important rivers. Okay, here we can mention that Krishna, Tungabhadra, and Kaveri. This entire Maidan region is formed by these rivers. So they will get the irrigation facility by these three rivers known as Krishna, Tungabhadra, as well as the Kaveri. Okay, so the entire Maidan region is divided into two parts again. Okay, what are they? The northern Maidan and the southern Maidan. Which are the two important divisions in that? So the northern Maidan, the southern Maidan. But you should keep that these rivers are very important. Okay, so in this region, don't forget that one. Okay, let us come to that. The first one, the northern Maidan. The northern Maidan, it is located to the northern part of our Karnataka. Okay, so that Bidar, Raichuru, Haveri, Kalburgi, Vijaypura, these districts will come under this northern Maidan. Entirely north part of Karnataka. Okay, and here these are very important places. So they are very famous for that relief features also. Okay, and here the temperature will be very temperature will be more during that summer and all. It will be very hot all the time. Okay, that's why these areas, the area is called as the land of sunshine, because the temperature will be more any time. Okay, so in summer especially we cannot tolerate. Okay, the people who are living in southern region cannot survive up to a week in the northern part. That much of temperature will be there. We cannot adjust ourselves for that particular environment. It is a rugged environment or rugged feature. Okay, rugged relief feature we can tell. Okay, so that's why. So the people who are living here, they have adjusted themselves for that particular climatic condition. Okay, and the temperature will be more. That's why it is known as land of sunshine. Okay, the places here, the Bidar, Vijaypura, Kalburgi, Haveri, and other places districts which are located in the northern part will come under northern Maidan region. Okay, next we have to pass to that southern Maidan. Here, answer is in that name only, the southern part or south part of Karnataka. Okay, the places especially that Davangere as well as Tumakuru, Bangalore, Chamarajanagar, this whole every districts will come under this southern Maidan. Here there are many hills. Okay, in the southern main relief feature of the southern Maidan is the hills. There are many hills which are very famous for that trekking and all. So in that we can mention the Chitradurga and Shivganga, Madhugiri. Chitradurga. So Chitradurga fort is there. No, that hill will come under this region, and Shivamogga. So that is also very important, as well as Shivganga, not Shiv actually. Shivganga. Shivganga hill is there. No, that is also very important, and Madhugiri. Madhugiri. So which is a very important mountain or a hill area. So it is a very big hill or mountain. That is also monolithic hill. Okay, so it is a biggest monolithic hill in the entire Asia. Okay, so that the importance is there for Madhugiri hills. Okay. Yeah, with that we can also see other small hills that is not mentioned here. So just keep these three hills in your mind. What are they? Chitradurga, Shivganga and Madhugiri. Okay, so these are the details about the Maidan region. Don't forget two divisions in that is known as northern Maidan and the southern Maidan. See in the map, see here. So I have divided into three parts. You can see here the coastal, the part which is located between Arabian Sea as well as the Malnad, that is known as coastal plain, and the Malnad is located or lies between coastal plain as well as the Maidan region. This Maidan region is located to the east part of Malnad. Okay, so and here one more thing we can observe that here the areas will be having little bit steep slopes. Okay, in some places there will be steep land, so in some places it will be little bit slower slopes. Okay, so like that is the main feature of this Maidan. And here the people will grow different types of crops. As we know that they will grow more groundnuts. Okay, as well as that what we will call that bajra. Okay, so jowar, bajra, groundnut. Okay, these are the important crops. With that, sunflower also. Okay, these are the important crops of this region. Okay, so these are the important crops of Maidan region. So in this class, so we learned about the important physical divisions of our Karnataka. In the coastal plain, the Malnad region, the Maidan region. You should know the difference among these, and you should know the location also. And we should keep the districts which will come under each physical division. That is also very important. Okay, and here the coastal plain is very important. So in that the ports, okay, they will play important role in the economic development of our state as well as the country. Okay, did you understand this topic? Okay.